Yeah. Why? I mean, I'm going to be in 1 minute.
This is my Wi-Fi just messed up and I was submitting an exam.
Huh?
Why is our Wi-Fi so bad?
I got the wrong part of the table.
No.
So what? I got 23 people jumping on here. What are you gonna do? Try the living room. Hi Taylor. Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
This your first live tour?
No, I think I was on the last one.
Yeah.
I might have popped in late though.
Oh well, I penalize the agents if they show up late.
I probably got
Well, I
penalized.
charge them twice as much, but that helps you because you get 10% of twice as much. Um, you get the award for being first
Awesome.
and early. Another minute to go.
First and early. How was this morning's call?
Um, I had 7 owners on it, and 2 of them are currently with our franchise model with the platform, the not franchise recruiting. The guy from Maine, Stephen Beckett.
Brackett?
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's going to lock up the entire state with email addresses.
I heard about that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mentioned that he was on the call today. And then Jack, what's his name from Boston? He's got the western suburbs.
Yep.
And his
Jack
plans
Durbin.
are to open up 2 or 3 other offices this year. So we'll be able to, launch whenever he wants.
Wonderful. And I saw that Angela from Texas, she was on the call because I saw some chatter going on in the broker group talking
Mhm.
about it. So that should get a
What
little
was
bit
her
of
name?
attention.
Angela?
Angela Clegg.
Yeah, I didn't follow up with any of them yet, the ones that don't have it. Angela.
She was asking others about their experience, and I tagged David, Thomas Watson, and Teresa Overcash because I knew that they were
Mm-hmm.
long-term customers of yours.
Yeah, she's a good advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we also have Jeff Hoover in the room. Hey, Jeff, how are you? Can you hear me, Jeff?
Doing well, guys. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where are you from, Jeff?
Flagstaff, Arizona.
Arizona. So what's it, 105 degrees there today?
Actually, up north, I think we're at about 20 degrees and snowing right now.
Oh, because I'm in Pennsylvania. We're getting 12 to 24 or something like that tomorrow.
Yeah, you guys have it coming for you.
Yeah, well, we've done it before. We're okay. Well, all I do is Zooms anymore, right? So it doesn't matter where I am. Just keep the electricity and the internet on. I'm okay.
Exactly. It's a super easy commute right now.
So we got 2 on now. We're waiting. There's supposedly 31 are registered, but we always know that only half show up. Whether it's ROG or KW or it doesn't make a difference what brand. About half of the agents will show up.
That's the industry, but they're all hoping you're recording this so that we
I
can
am.
share it.
I'm doubly sure I am. What else is new, Taylor? That's about it. I should have 3 or 4 more recruiting accounts opening up in the next week or so. And, any promotion you can give us, certainly appreciated. Because these agents just, they don't have, I help them build their databases. They don't have a database of even their recruiting, prospects. So we help them with that too.
Yep.
Jeff, how long you been with ROG?
It has been 6 years now.
Wow. Okay, that's a long time. Where'd you come from before?
So, Windermere.
Windermere, okay. One of their franchises, or were you up in Washington and Oregon?
I was actually with one of their franchises in Arizona
Oh,
before they pulled out of the state.
Okay. Maka, I have the ability to mute you, for the next half hour. So unless you give me $20, I'm not going to let you speak. He can't hear me, Taylor. Yeah, it's funny now. He can't hear me. Maka, you're still on mute. Does he spell computer with a K or a C, Taylor? What's the story here with Maka?
Is he on the call? I can't
Oh,
even.
now he logged in twice now. Maka, you there? You're still on.
Here I am.
All right. You're still on mute.
I know. I was having some technical difficulties, no doubt caused by you, Albert.
No, Taylor logged in 3 times and she sucked up all my bandwidth.
Ah, classic.
Jeff, if you didn't know, Taylor and Maka are with the ROG marketing department headquarters.
I know both of them.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Jeff.
Morning, Taylor.
Good morning. It's noon over there for you now, right? You're an hour
It
ahead
is.
these days.
Yeah, it has so thrown me off because I send out a reminder every week to the agents about upcoming events. And yeah, I'm so used to putting the Pacific time stuff. I'm like, crikey, what time is it supposed to be again? So, and just so you know, Taylor, I think we have the One Lux thing figured out for Eileen with the 2 offices because I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't hear back from her, so I'm like, I think it worked. Let me know if you don't have it figured out, just reach out again. I talked to
Definitely, I'll
Art,
keep you posted.
we can make 2 separate accounts if that's better for her. It just seems like that might be more confusing, but we could do that.
It might be, but I think eventually Signature is going to become her primary versus Mountain Desert. So
Oh,
that may
okay.
change things a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah, let me know, what's best for you and her.
Definitely. I'll keep you posted. You guys were talking about how agents participate in these calls. The Major Domo call yesterday, I was like, there's only 22 people in here. That's amazing. There should have been so many more.
Breaking 4 here.
I know. There's so many who registered too. That's
32
like
we had.
that's the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I sent them all a note about, 2 or 3 hours ago saying showtime at 2.
We've seen a drop in November and December. I don't know if you're seeing that in your office too, Jeff. Is it just
Oh,
the
definitely.
holidays or people trying to close out the year strong?
And they're zoomed out.
Zoomed out,
It's
yeah.
all-
Yeah.
That's why I try to.
I mean, we're doing record number of transactions. We did 670 transactions last month, I think.
That's
So
probably-
Damn.
the agents are busy.
yeah, we're seeing that in our corporate offices too. I'm like, they're just kind of busy, which is fantastic.
Yep. And because of that, I think they're thinking they don't need to learn how to stay busy because they forget that the market's going to change again.
Yeah. Yes. It
That-
happens.
What we're seeing now is I work with a lot of brokerages here in the East Coast, Howard Hanna, Long and Foster, and Weichert. And now's the week that all the agents have to send in their marketing plans, right, for 2021, because the managers in those companies really, they almost force you to create a plan. Whether you stick to it or not, it's a different story. So we're catching people at the right time right now because they're looking for something to put on their plan. Whether they do it or not doesn't make a difference. So I caught a couple agents today that told their manager they were going to do this, and the manager called me and said, wow, it's great that Tom, Bill, and Harry, whatever their names were, have joined. And I go, no, they haven't joined yet. So some people are using us as a guise to fill out some space on their marketing report. But it's true. If what are you going to do in 2020 that you're differently than you do in 2021? And most agents will say, oh, I'm going to do a better job of staying in touch. Well, do you have a plan? How are you going to do it? Do you have a database? 9 out of 10 agents that we deal with, Taylor, have no database. Ask them what it is. They say, I do, but it's in Gmail, it's in the MLS, it's in the iCloud, it's in Top Producer, it's in Sync. That's not a database. So the first thing we do for agents is we go and quote all those locations and grab them all, clean them all up, run them through a bunch of filters. We pay an outside service to verify every email address. So by the time we hand that list back to the agent, it's a real good database. It's verified, all the dupes taken out, the bad email addresses. So let's get going here. I don't know where everybody else is, but at least I'm glad you came, Jeff.
Here I am.
Are you a manager or owner? What are you?
I fill multiple roles, but for Mountain Desert, I'm the chief operating officer. So I go on all these calls so I can share with the agent what's going on when they don't get on the calls.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. Well, then whatever questions you ask will be germane. That's good. Okay. So let me get rid of this. All right. We all know real estate's a numbers game, right? Everybody on this call knows that real estate's a numbers game. So what we try to do is help the agent put up some big numbers because we know generally they're lazy. They know what needs to be done, but no one's doing it for them. So it doesn't get done. So what we do is we get the agents organized with a brand new database. We deliver engaging, predictive content that we know resonates well because everything is tracked. Every article we write, the agent gets an alert when somebody engages with the article. We'll show you some of our predictive articles pretty soon. And then finally, at the end, we'll show you our new artificial intelligence. So we keep agents relevant by delivering content every 2 weeks. Once a month doesn't cut it anymore. It's every 2 weeks. That helps the homeowner or the consumer manage what they have now. Let's not worry about what's coming down the road right now. Let's help them with what they have now. So that's our content philosophy is no recipes, no moving day tips, no chicken or no 10 things your home inspector will tell you, that kind of stuff. And we're trying to slow down the defection of consumers running to Zillow and never coming back to the agent's website. because that's what studies show. Zillow says, hey, we have everything. In fact, they're taking ads, they were taking ads out, I thought, in Arizona, I don't know what part, simply saying you don't need realtors anymore, just come to us. We've got mortgages now, we've got real estate, full-time employees. They're trying to, convince consumers that paying commissions just aren't cool. And of course, that hurts my business when it hurts your business. We help agents focus where they should with intelligence on the database. And finally, again, mentioning that defection, going to Zillow. So when we ask agents, why can't you do the best possible job of staying in touch? They say, hey, Al, I have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't have a whole system. And I could tell they don't have a whole system when they don't even have a database. So after we build that, we put it into a pipeline and we nurture it. And then we give the agent intelligence on what's going on inside of their database by predictive content, clicking and engaging, or our artificial intelligence. And finally, protecting the database. That's one of our defining features is once an agent puts their database into Home Actions, or we do it for them, then it becomes exclusive. No other agent anywhere using Home Actions can attack that agent's database. These are just some of the places where we go to, of course, to build that all important database. The newsletters come out every 2 weeks and they're highly branded and everything is trackable. The agent sees the newsletter 4 days before it hits the street so they can make some changes. They can call us and say, hey, bring in a listing, a just sold, open house, testimonials, whatever they have. So it starts out as a e-newsletter, but ends up as a conversation starter. Because if you know the people well that are clicking on this article, like I'll explain the sold one in a couple seconds, it's a good conversation. I don't say it's a hot lead. We don't use the word hot lead anywhere in our business. We talk about and we deliver conversation starters. And here's just an example. Every 2 weeks when they open up their newsletter, we're going to populate all the content. We know what's resonating well. We send out about 6 million a month. So we know what they're getting, clicking, sharing, et cetera, et cetera. That just sold article there, that is our most widely clicked article. And what I'll tell you is everybody, I'll just fast forward it to a second. Where'd it go? This one here. Everybody wants to know what's sold down the street. And NAR indicates that 40% of people that bang on that kind of information are actually engaging right now. They're warming up, they're doing their research, but successfully it's in front of the agent, not behind the agent's back on Zillow. We want to get all the agents, all the tools that the agent can have. We want to get them in front of the consumer so they can engage with those tools. This is a RPR report. Simply, if the agents have RPR, they tell us what zip codes they want to be an expert in. We put the zip codes in, the reports open up, everybody gets alerted, everybody's happy. If it's one thing you can learn today, everybody wants to know what's sold down the street, and we don't want to have them go to Zillow to find that out. Now, when it comes to what we call predictive content, the article on the right there, true or false, is 20% down payment. Wouldn't you want to talk to 20 consumers that just read that article? And you can do that with Home Actions because we set alerts on these articles if you want. So the agent gets a text or an email when somebody clicks and opens up this article because they're probably interested in down payment money. This next one, there's an article that ran today. I don't know if you guys get real estate technology, RET, I think it's ret.com. I'll forget it was. I'll send you a copy later on. They asked me to do a story on why agents are blaming low inventory on COVID. And for some part of it, that's true. But the other part is the agent or the consumers aren't putting their house on the market because they don't know how much home equity they have in their house. So if I don't know how much equity I have, how much money I can get out of this house, I'm really not going to list my house to buy another house, right? Until somebody gives me that magic number. So we want all these types of articles to land on the agent's contact me page or anywhere they want. So the agent does more CMAs, right? Once you find out your house is worth $750, subtract $250 on the mortgage, there's your equity. Wow, I didn't think it was that quick, right? That's what the consumer would say. So the agent is adding professionalism to what could be a great conversation. Hey, Jim, let's talk later on and we'll figure out how much equity you have in your home. Now, John just clicked on that article, 3 minutes ago. So again, we write content with the dual purpose of one, informing, and two, making it a lead generation source, okay? Didn't say it was a hot lead. I'm just saying this guy's interested in finding out how much home equity he has. We just launched this one about 2 or 3 months ago. didn't have a lot of steam put into it, but now Howard Hanna tells me they're going to be promoting this for us. This is the attempt at increasing the agent's public relations skills. The idea here is that the agent every 2 weeks gives us 6 or 7 small businesses, mom and pop shops in their area. And we build a page for the agent on the right there, no charge to do this. And for instance, I think Tom's got 820 contacts in his database. So there's 1,640 of these going out every month into the local community. Now he's getting emails and calls from the people that own these small businesses saying, hey, Tom, thanks for doing that. You didn't have to do that, but we appreciate the plug. So good public relations, it can always be had in larger numbers by realtors. So we do this for them. There's no charge, and we're just happy to do it because it needs to be done. Email exclusivity. I always bang this one home halfway through my presentation. I want them to know, the agent to know, that when they put their database in, that consumer will never hear from Home Actions from another agent. We can put this Q&A section in, okay? Christine's manager up in Cobalt or in ROG Complete, and she's got, excuse me, a personal edition as well as a recruiting edition. And what we did for her, put this article in, I think she had, 20 people click on it. Now there's 20 people that wanted to know how the market is. So those reports over on the right, they're actually built into her website. But when I asked her how many people hit on that, she almost laughed at me like, how would I know? Because you guys have a section on the Agent ROG website which says, get your market reports. I don't think most people are clicking on them. So what we did was we take those market reports and we build them by zip code. We put them in the system. So the consumer clicks on Q&A. There's a bunch of zip codes there, or this one might only be one report. And it opens up into 95825, her window in California. So again, great content, hyper relevant, delivered for the agent because she would have no idea how to do this. Okay. Again, that's why we do it for them. We already went through this one. We have 1,400 articles in our library and 1,400 articles that the agent can take to social media in just a couple seconds, put it right on their blog. I did a unsophisticated analysis, Maka, on random ROG agents that have a blog button on their website. Out of 25 ones I hit, only one had any content on there, and that was 2 years old. I just randomly went through offices and clicked on websites and
Wow.
saw what was in blog. Nothing. At least one guy had an article in there, as I said, was 2 years old. So I don't know whether they need help with the blogs, but we can put this stuff right in their blog for them if they want us to. Next one. This is after the newsletter launches, we sit down with the agent, the first 2 or 3 launches, and we say, hey, let's go click this report. Let's talk about this, 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 and this. The one number that's important on this page is unique opens down the bottom there, 1,016. That indicates that half of your readers will open the newsletter multiple times. Now we know that because we track it all. And we're wondering, the agent would say, well, why don't they read it all at one time? Well, for the most part, we try to send this very early in the morning. Okay, the best open rates pre-corona were in the morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 5:30 to 6 o'clock local time. Okay, so what happened in the consumer's house was the alarm clock goes off. We all know they grab their phone in the first 5 seconds. And what they do is they go through their, junk mail that's evident, and they save the rest. So they take a quick glimpse at our newsletter, and they save it for this afternoon, tonight, tomorrow, next week. I don't care when they open it. I just know they do open it multiple times. Any questions thus far? Everybody else out there?
No questions on my end.
All right. So over on the right, you'll see 58 total triggers. That's what we call these alerts that we put on these articles. So if you look at the middle red arrow, 28 people wanted to know what's sold down the street, when, and for how much. Of that 40%, 9 of them are actively, on average, researching right now, when the agent should be in front of them. And the agent is in front of them because they're reading their articles every 2 weeks. So again, we show you all the engagement on all the articles. If you want to know who opened it, click on the word who. Now, let's get back to Zillow. On the East Coast here, the agents are scared that Zillow is going to put everybody out of business because they're hiring full-time, realtors, but they're full-time employees. So the reasons that people run to Zillow and never come back to the agent are on this page here over on the right. So what we said was, let's try to slow down this defection to Zillow. Let's, put a wall up in front of Zillow so the agents get to take and use and enjoy content from the agent, not from Zillow. So what we did was we built this widget, which is called Neighborhood 360. It's a widget that's in the newsletter. Every article, the agent can take it out if they want, but I know no one that does. And what this does is it gives the reader the ability to pull up any information on 150 million street addresses. There aren't any more than that, 150 million, and draw a 3-mile radius around that listing or around that address. It doesn't have to be a listing, 3-mile radius. And we're going to do a deep data dive on everything that's going on in that neighborhood: taxes, schools, demographics, traffic patterns, where's the Petco animal stores, everything that somebody would be interested in when they ask, how's the neighborhood? So the agent prints these things off and can put them in open houses or hand them to the clients. Doesn't make a difference. It's at the end of the day, it's all a PDF. So they could send it anywhere. They could post it on their website. They could put it on their blog, right? We know there's lots of room there to put it on the blog. So that's what we call the inside scoop on any neighborhood that's out there. Now, if the agent doesn't, I guess on all your agent websites, they have a tell me what my house is worth, okay? If they don't like using that one, they can use ours. This is the CoreLogic AVM, the most expensive and accurate AVM that's out there from what we're told. And of course, we bought it for the whole country because we have to. So as soon as somebody says, hey, Tom, can you tell me what my house is worth? Here's the address. Here's the value range that the system gave to them. And over on the right, you could see what are the reasons why somebody wants this report. The agent sees all this. I mean, this is about as good as a predictive article as you can get. If somebody's going to say, hey, Tom, tell me what my house is worth. So again, we create that conversation starter with the realtor. Neighborhood 360. Now, let's get into artificial intelligence. I think every large brand out there, everyone that I can think of has dabbled in artificial intelligence, and by no means am I an expert. I just hire experts to play with this stuff. But about 2 years ago, we were at the Howard Hanna convention in Pittsburgh, and there was this company there that has access to 3 billion email address. That's billion email addresses, and where the email addresses of those 3 billion have been seen, used, downloaded, shared, found on spreadsheets, algorithms, social websites. So what we do is we take all the email addresses that the agent has in the home action system, and we blast them up against close to 1,000 predictive real estate related websites. And a predictive real estate website in the simplest form would be somebody that bangs on a MLS or somebody that's looking at a portal site for real estate. Okay. Yeah, we track that. Okay. But we track so much more. So listen to this now. Mrs. Williams has taken prenatal vitamins. Mr. Andrews shopped on diapers.com last night for the first time. Did you guys know there's a database of first-time shoppers that's generated every morning? First-time shoppers for diapers on diapers.com. We've got that, okay? So just think about all the places. When somebody buys 2 SUVs, Marco, I'm going to ask this question for you because I want to keep you awake. When somebody buys 2 SUVs in the same month, what does that tell you as a realtor?
Tells me they got a lot of dough.
Okay. Even in California, that's a lot of dough, right?
Yeah.
And that's true. There's a database out there, people that bought jewelry where in the past they haven't. Where are they throwing money around? And why are they throwing money around? We don't care why. We just want to tell the agent that these people in their database are ranking quite highly or not highly in these 3 areas. So for every 100 contacts that we test in this system, the artificial intelligence comes back and says, your people are in these ranges. In the 81 above, there's probably 5 out of 100, okay, that are ranked 80 and above. These are people that in 3 to 6 months are going to be buying or selling a house. How does the logic know that? Because we went back in time and found the sites that people are on 3 and 6 months before they buy a house, okay? So there's something going on in the family change, whatever you want to call it. I can't tell you if it's good or bad. We're not going to tell you that Mrs. Jones is pregnant. We're going to tell you that the fact she's pregnant is in her score. And when we roll up all these scores, this is what you see. So the agent comes into their home actions dashboard every day because the scores are changed every day. Do they change much every day? No. But when somebody goes from a 76 to an 89, I'm telling you, there's something going on in their life right now and for the last day or two. So of course the agent's in there every 2 weeks, right? So now the agent knows that somebody jumped from a 75 to an 84. You wouldn't pick up the phone and say, hey, Betty, I see you went from my artificial intelligence here tells me you guys might be moving soon. You can't say that, but you just get the conversation going, right? So then what happens is every day on their home actions dashboard, the scores change and anybody above 80 stays in this pink zone. It's red on most screens. So the idea here is that you're able to track the significant activity and monitoring the behavior of somebody that runs or manages that email address. Okay. So there's other companies out there like Keller Williams has this thing called Command. They have some artificial intelligence in it, but it's only when the consumer is inside the KW ecosphere. Okay. If the consumer is doing research outside of the ecosphere, they don't pick it up. Nobody picks up what we do and in the numbers and in the volume that we do. So right now you have to have home actions and then we bolt on the lead scoring, right? There's an extra monthly charge for that. But what we're building probably will be done mid-January or into January is a standalone scoring system where you don't have to have home actions. You can have this artificial intelligence lead scoring as a simple product. You just a dashboard you go into and it's all there. We tried to tie it to home actions and I'm not saying we had any success or failures yet. We really didn't try it well enough. But when an agent, right now you have to have a place to put all these contacts. So home actions was a natural location for that. So what we're doing is we're trying to get agents to say, I want to focus on the segment of my database that's going to put money in my pocket pretty soon. Okay. Not years from now, pretty soon, 3 to 6 months. So you start nurturing that contact differently because they're moving up the scale. And I can't teach an agent how to do that. I could just give them the numbers. So I can get you up the home plate, but you got to swing the bat. I'll teach you how to swing the bat. But these are, if you're a good agent, you know how to talk around this stuff. But look what I'm giving you. All the notes that you've had with the consumer, the newsletters that are going out in one click. What did they click last week? What are they ranking right now? So somebody at the top over in the right there, 96.31, it only goes to 97. Okay. So that's as far as it goes. So this is somebody that, and you could click on the number and just follow all the tracking. So they may started at a 40, but right now today they ended up at a 96.31 over the last 6 months. Again, there's something going on in their life. And the agent who gets in the middle there and adds some professionalism is going to win. This is of course, Maka, you know what this is. We put this in the email and we sent it out to the agents. We said, hey, in addition to, what we're doing here, giving you $100 price break, we're also adding $50 to the OneCare Foundation in your name if you subscribe. We may have sold, 20 so far, Maka. So there's 20, 50, there's $1,000 for your foundation at the end of December.
Awesome.
What we've got here is on the right, of course, we tell them if they join, that's your writing. So at the end of the day, we know what to send, when to send, how to send it. We know how to create these conversation starters, and we know how to lock in exclusive value. If you add up the power of the artificial intelligence lead scoring with our system in home actions, there isn't a program out there like it. Everybody else that has a decent newsletter has weighed it down with the fact that it's a CRM and it's this and it's that and it's posting auto post to social media. We just want to specialize in one thing, helping agents get and stay top of mind with all their clients, unlimited number of clients. Okay. And we know how to lock in exclusive value because at this point, if I'm talking to an agent, they understand that they don't want their consumers getting any of this stuff from another agent because this is cool stuff. So there's 2 ways to subscribe to our program. There's a monthly payment plan and there's a quarterly payment plan. And we have a hybrid plan here we'll show you. So normally the setup fee is $129 for ROG agents. It goes down to $99. Most times if I'm friendly with the owner, a couple agents will waive the $99 setup fee. It's Christmas, whatever. And then they could pay $65 per month for as many months as they want. There's no contract and they could cancel at any time. And the idea is that they can fall in love with this $65 per month. And at the end of the first month, they could say, Al, this didn't work. I only have 25 emails, too expensive. Okay, here's your money back. Here's your database back, right? We don't own the database, they do. So but 9 out of 10 agents come to, well, more than that, 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 say, hey, this is pretty cool. I want to stay with it. What's my best offer? So we can move them into the quarterly plan. Instead of paying $780 a year on the monthly plan, when you do 12 times 65, come in here and do 160 every quarter, and they end up saving about $140. Okay, so we're saving the agents that like the monthly plan $100. We're saving the quarterly users about $140. So at this point, the agents, most of the agents are thinking about seriously doing this. They got the order form already. They start filling it out, and within a day or two, we have their database built. We work very fast around here. So that's the subscription plan for the quarterly. That's the one for the monthly. Now, Maka, do you want to see what I do with the owners?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So let's see who else is on the program here. Taylor, Jeff, Maka, and me. That's 4. Wow.
Small, intimate group.
Yeah. Let me new share. ROG for Paul E. Webinar ROG. Let me click up here. Let me cancel out of here. File. Let's get rid of that. Open. I'm looking now. ROG, Greg McClure. There we are. Okay, so our object here is to fill up the seats, right? Every one of your owners has, what, 40, 50 desks that they haven't filled up yet? So the idea is that let's just figure out how to fill up those desks. So we all know recruiting is time consuming. A lot of the owners just don't have a dedicated person to do it, right? Because they're bootstrapping everything now. Very seldom is it consistent. I talk to owners that send stuff out maybe once a quarter, sometimes once a month when they get to it. Okay, that's the attitude that I'm seeing all over the place. So that's why we're a great avenue, because we do it all for that owner. What we do is we take ROG approved and ROG written content, and we format it so it fits in our newsletter. So we take all this content every week or two, and we add articles to the newsletter. Works the same way as the real estate version, only recruiting content. So let's look at this on the left, Cam Nicka. He was one of our first to have it. Middle one is Coldwell Banker Restore outside of Philadelphia. And then over on the right, here's Teresa Overcash. She, every week I get a call from one of her agents. Hey, Teresa told me to just pull the credit card out and buy it. What am I buying? They trust her is what I'm saying. So on this next page, you'll see some of the other articles. This Do the Math article is trending quite highly right now, because anytime you can get somebody to open up your newsletter, click on that article and take that little exercise, to find out that 100% is better than 70%, right? We know that, but we just got to prove it to them. So my mission here is to tell the story, tell the brand story to thousands and thousands of agents in the area. So look at this. This is four managers that we have, and the numbers of agents that are getting their stuff. Okay. Over here on the right, Cam's got the award. 5,600 agents he's locked up in his recruiting newsletter. Every 2 weeks, 5,677 emails go out to every agent in the area. This is Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Southern Maryland. Not Southern Maryland, Montgomery County, Maryland, the suburbs. Okay, so down on the right, Tom Watson down North Carolina, 5,343. Now, most of these agents have not only the recruiting version, but they also have the regular realtor version, because they're still selling houses, right? Somebody's got to bring money in the house. So they're still selling, and they're still, they always had a sphere of influence. They just never thought about preserving it, if you will. So that's why they get a realtor's account. So
Gotcha.
then this is, I don't know this. I think this is one of Cam's delivery stats. We sent 6,157 unique opens. That's at least once. But look at that total opens, 3,227. Okay. So that is a huge number of people. And it's impressions, impressions, impressions. And these numbers have stayed the same. Okay. Our unsubscribe rate is practically stopped because everybody that would have unsubscribed already did. But the numbers, in fact, let me go into, I'll go into somebody's account in a couple seconds here. So this is that one article, top five signs it's time to leave your broker. Well, wouldn't you want to talk to 10 people that just read that article? Boom, they're right here. Okay, somebody's at Berkshire Hathaway in New Jersey. Yahoo, I don't know what that is. Mirabella Veris, I don't know, it's another real estate company. But these are all realtors in the area that may or may not have known about Realty One Group. Well, they do now because they've consistently opened newsletters for Cam for the last 6 or 7 months. So he's one and I constantly watch his unsubscribe rate. Every time he sends this out, maybe 2 more will unsubscribe. But again, he's getting 5,000 on the street, right? And it doesn't cost any more to do 8,000 than it does 2,000 for the owners. Our price is the same. Okay, here's Cam telling everybody that he's opening up 3 more offices in Northern Virginia this year. Over on the right, Coldwell Banker, I don't know why I'm saying that. ROG Restore outside of Philadelphia. They bring in a different mortgage company every 2 weeks, right? Mortgage company gets some publicity, everybody's happy. These are the areas right now, as of this morning, which are exclusive, off limits. I can't sell a recruiting account into any of these areas. I can't sell something to Keller Williams, the Coldwell Banker, to Century 21. My promise to the owners is if they work with us, we'll make sure that they own their territory, literally, for all these email addresses for all these agents. Okay. So I just added, in the last 4 days, we added 4 more areas. Okay. And the one guy up in Maine, Stephen Brackett, whatever it is, he got the whole state. Now, Maine doesn't have a lot of realtors, but we were able to find 3,173 of them. Okay. And that's every realtor in the state. He's locking up every realtor in the state for this type of communications. If somebody else buys a Keller Williams 50 miles away from him, 2 miles away from him, they can't do this. Okay, because that's the promise I made these guys. Now, there's also another kind of exclusivity. For 90% of these people that we're working with, the owners, they say, hey, Al, why don't you show this to my agents? The agents need this, okay? 9 out of 10 of my agents don't have a database. Yeah, I know that. Where'd you hear that? So what we do is we promise the owner that we will not go down the street to Keller Williams, Century 21, Coldwell Banker, Remax, anybody for the first 2 months, because we want to give your agents a chance to see this, a chance to call us and say, build my database, a chance to get it in and make it exclusive. Right? Because if everybody was able to send newsletters to a consumer, that doesn't help anybody. So our exclusivity kicks in there. So the goal is to help the agents long-term get a database, get it nurtured, get it protected. And then I can come back to Keller Williams 5 miles down the street, 3 miles down the street, and sell the hell out of this if I wanted to. Am I going to? No, because I don't have any sales force in California, okay, or Arizona. We mostly do this by Zooms, by owners, no matter where they are in the country. The owners see the value for the agent. So what we do is we say that the agent gets $100 discount because he's part of so-and-so's, operation, the brokerage. If we do the Zoom, in December, I'm going to save you $125. I'm going to come up with some kind of incentive to do a Zoom in December. Because in January, everybody gets excited about the new year. They don't look at any marketing tools. January historically is our worst month. So that's why we want to see how many we could bring in December. And they're all getting $50 donation to the fund. So the pricing for the recruiting program is more expensive than the average agent because there's so much more time on our behalf. We actually work with the agents on the phone and say, hey, let's move that article over. Let's get rid of this one. Let's bring this one in. It's just more time consuming. So there's a $149 one-time setup fee and then $89 per month, canceled anytime, no contracts. And the agents under you, the agents under that owner, get a special deal like $100 right off the top because you're with ROG ABC. Agents like it. brokers really just need to be helping the agents get more productive. There's nothing more productive causing than, or productivity causing than staying in touch with everybody that could put money in your pocket. Okay. That's why this resonates so well with the owners that I've talked to so far that have trusted me with their database. And then they say, hey, let's go, so I've done maybe 15 Zooms for owners. And then we did maybe 1 or 2 of them. We've done 2 or 3 or multiple Zooms because not enough people showed up at them. So what we do for owners is simply things they know needs to be done. If they want to get the brand out there, I'm not saying, I don't even have a return on investment on this. Okay. It's that new because I don't know how many people picked up the phone and called one of the owners and the owner never said, how'd you hear about us? So I don't know if it's us. I know it could only be positive, right? That you're in front of 5,000 people that you want to hire. And so that's what we do for agents. And as I said, I've been doing this 20 years. I built the first ever electronic newsletter for agents 20 years ago, and I've been stuck in this business ever since. Everywhere I go, 9 out of 10 agents, no database, no idea what kind of content to put out there. They're still throwing out chicken pot pie recipes, right, to get their name out there. And that's actually hurting their brand. And at the end of the day, my goal is to have every agent that has our program do just 2 more deals this year, annualized, than they would not have done if they didn't have my program. Then I did my job. Even if you get 1 sale, it still pays for itself. But there's long-term implications, right, of being there every 2 weeks. You're going to catch somebody at the right time. And we know that. So that's the way we analyze our ROI if you were able to find one here. Most of the owners will say, well, how many houses will my agent sell? And I'll say, I don't know your agents. I'm not working with them yet, but I give them a Zillow smartass answer between 0 and 100. I have no idea. So that's what we tell them, but we treat them well. I can't tell you the last time an ROG agent quit our program. Usually when they quit, they go to a different brokerage that has a newsletter, although it's not as good as ours. But then again, the idea is we sort of know what's on the mind of the American consumer because we send 6 million a year or 6 million a month. So we know what to put in there and we know what not to put in there. Who's got some questions?
Thank you, Albert. I think you did a great job as usual. Jeff, do you have any feedback, questions? Do you think your agents in your network would find use from Home Actions? I don't know if you have a chance to share some feedback.
Jeff, you still there? I don't know where Jeff went. He left.
Oh, we lost him?
Yeah. No sense calling him, but you can call him if you want. Ask that same question. I appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a call after we finish here.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the guy from Maine is so excited he wants to do a press release and everything. He wants to lock this up and he doesn't even know. I asked him if he owned the whole state as the franchise and he said, well, no, but I have rights to it if I want to. And I was getting in the legal areas there I didn't want to get into. I didn't really care,
Yeah, a little gray area there.
Yeah, but he wants to be protected, at least with this thing. And then Jack Gervin in Boston, he wants to open up, I think, 2 more offices or something like that, or 3. So we're going metro, suburbs to surround Boston. He'll probably never be in downtown Boston because that's not a place for real estate companies, but he seems to know what he's doing. He's got a good Boston accent. And I told him I come up there and knock on his doors because my 2 kids go to Boston College. So he lives about 4 or 5 miles away from my kids' college.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I don't know where everybody was, Maka, that joined, that said they were going to join. I'm not depressed or anything, but I'll try to get them on the phone and see if they want to do another one. But
Yeah, no, I'm honestly, I'm sorry. I don't know where everyone is either. We've just seen this, man, over the last couple months. There's been tons of people registering and then no one's showing up. It's frustrating for sure, but I think we had a lot of clicks. We've had a lot of people kind of express interest, I'd say, in Home Actions in the last couple weeks. So I think we're doing good. It's definitely not where we'd want it, but we have a couple more opportunities to present this
Mhm.
to our agents before the end of the year. So I'm going to do everything we can.
Yeah, that whole week after Christmas is open.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's when, frankly, a lot of people, I think, are thinking about doing something different than they didn't do this year, you know?
For sure.
Um, so yeah, we'll keep the $100, savings and then the $50 for the contribution. That's fine. So
Okay.
let's figure out what you can, and I don't know how you can, of course, you can't force people to jump on the Zoom, but, a $10 credit just for showing up or something. I don't know.
Right. Some sort of incentive, like
$1 million Starbucks card.
a Starbucks location.
Yeah.
We'll give one away.
All right, so I got a couple more people to call on the recruiting version. That seems to be an easier sale than the agent sale. A couple of them went for I had a couple agents this month go for a 3-year plan,
Okay.
and which we used to have a 3-year plan, but it must still be on the website somewhere. So I think 4 of your agents came in at either $900 or $1,000. Okay.
Wow.
And that's good for 3 years. Saves them a boatload of money. We get $1,000 up front. Of course, you guys get 100 out of that. So you should have a good check for the end of December.
Sweet.
And then of course we'll do a separate one for the foundation.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome.
What else? I think that's it. So if
Okay.
I find out I'll find out some weird excuses why agents didn't show up, I'll email you them. Maybe we'll learn something.
But yeah, please let me know if you find out anything. Other than that, can you send me the recording
Yeah.
of both webinars, and I'll make sure
Yeah,
that they're
I'll take the first few minutes when everybody was talking. I'll take that out, and then we'll just do the show. And then
maybe the last part too.
yeah, this Q&A we'll take out too.
Yeah.
All right. How the guy that was on the call, Jeff?
Jeff Hoover. Yeah.
He's a operations guy for 1 or 2 offices or the whole region.
So yeah, the Mountain Desert region is like 3 or 4 offices, I think.
Yeah.
And he's one of the managing brokers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So he's a really good guy to have on the call, even though it was just him.
Yeah. No,
It's a really good guy. So I'm
give
gonna
him
give him a
and
call.
Say, hey, we'll do. I'll drop 125 for his agents.
For sure.
And just so we do it in December.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right?
I'll give him a call after this and let him know that.
And then either text me or email me. You don't have to call me back if you don't want, but I'll be here.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thanks for jumping on the call and see what we can do.
All right.
Bye,
Of course.
Marga. Bye-bye.
Talk soon. Bye.
No, don't end that.